Okay. At this time, we have quarterback Garrett Greene. Questions for Garrett? Greg?
So, Garrett, I'm sort of leading everybody off with the turmoil of the last week or so. How you handled it? How has the team handled it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the decision is kind of above my pay grade. My job is just to play quarterback here. But I mean, obviously, it sucks losing a coach that's recruited you you know, for 3 years in high school, and then played for him for 5 seasons here. But a lot of the teams kind of coming together, and just kind of worrying about this game, and then whatever happens next happens.
Do you kind of feel maybe a little bit your job as kind of a quarterback, as a senior, to kind of help shield the rest of the team from kind of that outside stuff, and be like, hey, and kind of keep guys focused on football and focused on the task?
Yeah, a little bit, because no matter what happens outside of here, the only thing that you can control is your effort, the work, how you practice. That's really the only thing that you can control while you're here. So just really talking to everybody about just focus on the task at hand, and then worrying about Memphis.
Is there anything you can share about any conversations you've had with Coach Brown since the decision?
Not really publicly.
Speaking of Memphis, I mean, from a quarterback's point of view, what problems do those guys present to the offense?
Yeah, so they're very similar structurally to Iowa State. They run the 3-3-5 and 3 safety stuff. So kind of structurally, they're pretty similar to a lot of what Iowa State did. So it's kind of nice to have those reps logged against some 3 safety teams, to where it's not our first time playing against 3 safety teams. But those type of teams, those type of defenses, they do pose problems with how you ID plays, and it just junks some things up for us. So we just have to be really on point with our IDs and our communication.
Makes Chad able to hold this thing together. You're going to be the right guy for this spot for this 2-week stretch.
Yeah, I think if you ask anybody, to a man, I think that they would all say that he truly cares about everyone in the building. You can't really hide his energy and his love for the game and the people in this building. So I think guys have seen that over the last 5 years with him. So I think it's easy to rally behind a coach like that.
Do you think that more guys would not decide to play in the bowl game? Just because of all the changes and everything else with the coaching situation, or you happy? Did you have to talk to people off the ledge, maybe?
Not really. I mean, I don't think we have anybody that's not here that's not going to play, which is good, and that speaks to the guys in the locker room and the character that they have. Is that the season obviously didn't go the way that we'd hoped, but they're going to finish it out and play one more time, and then figure out the rest after.
Did the performance at Texas Tech have any bearing on some of the guys? Hey, I don't want to go out like this. Let's try to put a better product out there. Was that talked about at all?
I mean, I think in the back of some guys' minds it's obviously there, because obviously Texas Tech just wasn't good enough, and the performance that we all put out there, me included, just wasn't good enough, and for me personally, I don't want that to be the last experience that I have planned.
How much juice is that added to everybody as you watch them practice, as you practice yourself, to get ready for this next game?
I think a little bit. I mean, our last Monday and Tuesday, we've had really physical and intense practices, and I think that shows that guys just want to go out there and compete one more time, and hopefully put a better product out than we did in Lubbock.
What do you think went wrong in Lubbock from your estimation? We talked with some of the coaches about that.
Yeah, I think that I can speak just for offense, but they had a really good third down plan for us. They had some. I mean, even if you look at their year-long stats, they were in the top 40 in the country in third down defense. So that was a strength of theirs, and we didn't do a good enough job of combating that.
Someone with
say they're gonna make a statue of you for remember, how would you like it to be? Would you like it to be running the ball, throwing the ball, throwing a block? I mean,
I
what's
think
something
that's that's up to that's up to the statue makers. I don't really have an input in that. Yeah,
Would you be smiling on it?
probably.
Yeah.
But that's not, again, that's above my pay grade.
Right.
Do you have a play or a moment though, maybe kind of what he was alluding to that you would want your fans to remember, or you're going to remember about your?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I think that's up for the fans to think about, and I mean, I've had a lot of good plays here, a lot of bad plays, but yeah, that's up to the fans.
You go back to his point, though. You go back, you think about your career. I mean, the Oklahoma game a couple years ago when you brought him back and rallied him. I mean, there have been some moments that you go through, you think about. Is there any that stick out?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably the one that sticks out the most, just because we're kind of in that season, is the first play of the bowl game last year. I think that was pretty cool because, Coach TA, he told me the whole week that, it was going to be a huge play, just with our prep and stuff, seeing how they adjusted to motion. So kind of that one, because we kind of knew the whole week, really the couple weeks leading up to the game that, the first play of the game was going to be a huge one. I mean, just as, a guy who played his ass off for his teammates, his university, the state. I think that's, if people just say that about me, I'll be happy.
You talked about the NFL before and things like that. What are your career goals? And if the NFL doesn't happen, would you want to play in a spring pro league or continue to play football?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna keep playing football as long as I can. But right now, I'm focused on Memphis.
This is the last college game. Is it sunk in at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm moving some stuff out of my house. So, I'm slowly moving out of my locker. 5 years, you have time to accumulate a lot of cleats and stuff of that nature. So it's starting to hit me a little bit. But I'm really just kind of focused on doing my job against Memphis, and then kind of handling all that stuff later.
I think you talked before about how important it has been for you to be a guy, that empty the tank guy. Like, we're going to give 100% every play. How important has it been for you to be that guy within yourself and be looked at that guy as like, man, it may go one way or another, but he is going to unload everything he's got on every play.
Yeah, I think that's, kind of really the only way that, you can really live life is, I don't want to be 80 years old and, have regrets on, any part of my life. And, these last 5 years, I don't really have any regrets. Obviously would like to have played better in some moments and win some more games and do all that, which that's just natural. But, I prepared my ass off every week, mentally, football wise, and then, physically, I did everything I could.
In your 5 years, what do you tell somebody now? What's it like to be a Mountaineer?
I mean, I think it's deeper than, just football. I think it's, an entire attitude and, outlook on life really. This state's built on blue collar, hardworking people, that, really aren't going to take no for an answer, and they're going to keep fighting for, themselves, their family. And so I think that something like that, no matter what happens with my life, I'll always have that DNA and that, that kind of factor with me that, no matter what happens, I'm going to keep fighting.
So part of that will be with you the rest of your life,
Yeah.
West Virginia.
No doubt. Yep. Thank you, guys.